Well, welcome to my channel Mispronounced Adventures. My name's Alex and welcome to Arctic Season Round 4.
Which is going to be
That could have gone better. I'm in a ditch. And I'm currently in northern Sweden, around the Kiruna area. This episode starts off after a day of reindeer herding, but it's time to bring to the end Arctic Season Round 4 and start the long drive home. Right, driving towards Abisko at the minute. Currently -10. Probably be the final cold temperature of the trip though. I think I've got a couple of hours of darkness and driving to do. Approaching the border with Norway. I mean, it's in the town just before. Border with Norway. Nothing to declare. And welcome to Norway. Moose. I think we're going to go left. Right, made it to Narvik. Time to, well, drive through Narvik and carry on until I get tired and then park up. Right, I think I might have found a park up for the night. I'm pretty sure this is the park up I used on my very first Nordic trip in the summer, or in the autumn, with John and Mandy, where we watched the Northern Lights and we went swimming. Yeah, I think I stayed here before.
Warning. Too close.
Maybe it was a regrettable day to drive down the Norwegian coast. It is currently raining and what temperature? 6 degrees. Well, the weather's a bit miserable, but at least there's some mountains over there. Ugh. 5 degrees. Well, since this is a spot I stayed in years ago, I thought I'd go visit it and have a look. Oh, it's a bit boggy. Yeah, so this is the area a couple of years ago I went swimming with John and Mandy. It is quite a lovely spot. Good morning. Do you remember this spot? Bit of swimming there. Bit of, I think we were drinking rum with sweets in it. I think I dropped my camera there. Good views. At that park up we were at in Norway on my first European trip.
Right, let's get out of here. On to down to the ferry port, which is about 20 minutes away. It doesn't look like winter at all. Wet and miserable. Well, it may be pissing it down, but it is quite pretty. I can see a ferry just putting into the port now, so hopefully if I get a stomp on I can get that one. I mean, I think they're only every 40 minutes and 50 minutes or something anyway, but let's see if we can get this one. I beat it, just. Really know which lane I go in. Well, I beat the ferry in, just about. Must have taken this ferry 4 years ago, or one of the other ones. I think if I remember, you just drive on and then they scan your number plate, and I think I've got a auto pass or some online account.
Moving.
Thank you. There's some online account I've got which automatically pays for the ferry, so I don't have to change money. Doesn't have to change hands or anything. Do you have an overlander?
Car ahead moving.
Well aware. Pole position. I'm winning. Right, let's go up and get a coffee.
Okay, that was quick. Which one of these is coffee? Well, that was a £2.99 coffee.
It's raw on deck, so I think I'm going to take my overpriced coffee back inside.
Right, back to the van.
It
it is still a horrible day.
Right, let's carry on the drive to the Arctic Circle Centre. Hopefully it will look more Arctic-y at some point. Right, with all the up and downs of the fjords and it being 5 degrees, I'm going to take the engine cover off because I don't need it. Things are a little bit warmer than they would be engine and coolant wise. So let's go get that off.
This is the first year I use these clips, so hopefully it should be just quite simple. There we go. Alright, you get the picture. I need to do this with my other hand. Right, all of them unclipped. There we go. Front of the van can breathe again. And just for those who hadn't seen them before, got that side and you just push the end in. That hooks out to the grill and then pulls it in.
Well, I think the €4 roll mat from Biltema worked very well. And for future years, I can use it again or I can pick a different colour. Those little clip things, they're a bit more expensive. They're about €4 each. So they're about €30 to make the grill cover, although I can reuse it. Let's carry on and hopefully my engine will cool down a little bit. Well, it's absolutely torrential rain.
Whilst it might be torrential rain, the landscape is beautiful and it very quickly turned from rain back to light snow.
Oh, the weather's awful. At least the van is getting a nice wash though. Wonderful. It is starting to get a little bit more snowy looking again, although it's still 5 degrees. Well, it doesn't look like the winter. I think I'm about 20 miles from the Arctic Circle Centre. So hopefully there in the next 25 minutes. Quick stop to see this little bit of art because I haven't seen it in a while. I think it was 4 years ago since I was last here. And the little museum over there is apparently free, so I'm going to go check it out.
I'm not the sort of person who wanders around art galleries normally, but I have to admit, I really liked this particular piece, the abstract and the reindeer.
Well, quick look around the free art gallery side, not the museum itself, and a coffee.
And now back to down there to get to the Arctic Circle Centre.
Starting to look a bit more snowy. Oh, it's got windy. I'll be able to hear the door seal blowing. Arctic Circle, 2 kilometres. Oh, the windy. There it is. Well, there we go.
Wonderful! I have crashed the drone. Well, I think crashed drone. It force landed somewhere over there. Oops. Well, let's go find it. Right. Well, let's go find the drone. At least I got an opportunity to wear my snowshoes this winter. Be easy if I do this with both hands. Well, the controller map shows where it is. If it wants to. Well, snowshoes definitely going to make this a bit easier. And to think I haven't had a drone-related mishap yet this trip. Oh well, it landed over there somewhere. It's definitely making life easier. Had snowshoes, I would have sunk quite deep. So many stickers. I wonder if there's any I recognise. So I'm going to get down into this bowl yet. Have a quick look for any that I might recognise. Anyway, let's have a look at the... Okay. Halfway there. Right, I think we're starting to get a bit close. I think it's past this little bit, this little hill over here.
pretty much on top of it. I should see it in a moment coming up past this mast. There it is. You naughty little thing. Right, back to the van. Well, I'm back at the van. It's just got dark. And one of the funny things is my mum just gave me a call. Wanted me to print something on my printer so I could log into my 3D printer. She's turned my 3D printer on, which is at her house, to print my brother a drinks can dispenser. So I've set a drinks can dispenser to print on my printer from the Arctic, which is in the UK. Miracles of modern technology. I do think I need to get a 3D printer in this van though, or the next van at least. Anyway, enough of that project done. This drone is drying off and I'm going to set the GPS and carry on for another 2-3 hours tonight because it's only 5:45. Well, that is me left the Arctic Circle for the last time on this trip and the last time in this van as well. Although I did say that last year, although I probably just do need to sell this van when I get back to raise the funds to buy the next one. It's so foggy. Anyway, what's going on now? We are heading to Morana, which I think is about 40 odd miles out, no, 20 miles away, and then turning east back to get into Sweden. And it might be just below zero again, getting back into Sweden. It might be like -3, which would be nice to get away from the wetness. But once again, let's drive into the night. Well, we're making our way over to Sweden. We are in Sweden. I think another, well, it's not that late, another hour or so driving and park up for the night will be the plan. Well, at least I got back into some snowy conditions again. It's still warm though, it's 1 degree. Hopefully, finally found a park up flight, 11:20.
In 600 meters, turn left.
Please be open, please be open, please be open. Oh, that's good. It's a welcome change. Well, you may not be surprised to hear that these Arctic trips and a new van build doesn't pay for itself. So, here's this episode's partner, Jackery. But I do try to keep those partners relevant, and if you know me and you've watched the channel for some years, you know power stations are pretty much in daily use. Specifically, this time round, the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2. I've never actually worked with Jackery before, but an old Jackery Explorer 500 was actually the first ever power station I used back when I used to run a Christmas tree sites for 8 years. So, Jackery Explorer 1000 V2. This is a 1 kilowatt or 1070 watt hour power station, which for me, the 1 kilowatt range has always been the sweet spot. It's still light enough to be portable, but actually has the capacity to run some of the larger things that I want to run with it. It's also Life-4 chemistry, so you're going to have a long life for the overall unit. But Jackery have asked me to show real-world examples, and since I've been using power stations for years, let's put it through all the paces and all the things that I usually use my power stations for. Real-world use cases. For me, most of the use cases is the inverter. It's got a 1500 watt inverter. Things I usually use it for is running an induction stove so I can make a cheese toasty. Alfresco cheese toasty was a success, or I might also have it run an air fryer. The other main bit is on the Arctic stuff. I use a heat gun a lot to thaw out some of my components.
And a heat gun.
Next option, USBs. For me, I mostly use the 100 watt USB-C for running on the laptop, or if I'm doing work calls, I might use the 30 watt to run my iPad. Next up, charging. There's no point being able to run all these big items with the inverter if you can't get power back in quickly. So whilst you can go off solar or 12 volt, personally in my use case, I always charge my power stations off the inverter in my van, as it's the fastest option. So this will do from 0 to 100% in 1.7 hours, or if you go on the app, which you have all your normal features you'd come to expect from the app, you can also go to emergency charging mode, charge it from 0 to 100% in an hour. And that's it. If you want to find out more about the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2 or any other Jackery products, check out some of the links in the description below. Thanks Jackery, and let's get out of the sun and swap it back for the Arctic. Raining. Lovely. Well, time to carry on and get down to Ash and Marie's house. Let's get the heating on, it's still cold in the cab. Lights. Carry on. I think this is going to be the general view for the next couple hours. Well, one of the things I need to do is switch back from my studded tyres to my KO2s. As most people probably know, studded tyres aren't really allowed in most of Europe, not only really the Nordics, so that's only through a set time period, and that excludes some of the cities as well, because they do damage the roads and create particulate pollution. Ash very kindly gave me some information about somewhere locally to him which could do it. I've just tried to give him a call, but it's an automated phone system, so I don't actually know what they're saying or which number to click, because, well, it's in Swedish. But I found their online booking form, and it seems that they've got gaps every 30 minutes tomorrow, so it looks like they're not busy. So I'm hoping I can just turn up and get them to swap my tyres onto my van, and then leave these ones at the tyre hotel for next winter. Well, it's a couple of hours later, it's dark, and mostly just driving towards Ash Marie's house, about halfway down Sweden today, really. Although I have had quite a few work consultations to do, so I've pulled over in a few of those. But yeah, hopefully another 20 odd minutes and I should get there. Do what the plan is for the night. Right, made it to Ash Marie's house. Let's go hang out with them for the evening. When did Ash get a bit bigger? Right, let's turn the camera off and go see them.
Hi cats. Right, it is a wet morning. Just been out to the shop with Ash. Marie is, I think, still in bed. Yeah, last night a bit of a catch up, a few beers, and then we got talking about Starlink. And Ash thought that I pay £96 a month for my Starlink. That's quite expensive, but that's for the roaming and unlimited. And we were looking up for the Sweden prices. The Sweden prices are, I think it was 559 SEK per month for unlimited data on the residential package, and that's about what he said he was Ash is paying for his 4G internet in the minute. So since I happen to have a spare Starlink, which I was given to repair, and it works, there's all my tyres. Ash did offer to buy it, but I can't sell him something which I was given for free in that context, so I think I'll go in later and I'll just give him the Starlink, and hopefully that can make his video production and his uploads a lot easier. I've got to go do a work consultation in a few minutes though, so we'll do that and I'm going to pop in. Work done. Right, one Starlink. I'm going to try and skate up to the deck. Oh my god. There we go.
24.
Yeah, hopefully that should get better when it stabilises as well.
It's making a noise.
Is it?
Yeah.
Space internet is making a noise.
Probably not a good idea to do that.
Right, that is me off. I have a new space internet, which is all set up. I am going to drive down to the nearest city and get the tyre swapped. Ash has got his van working again after he had to rebuild the engine. The main issue we found was just the connector issue. Right, slipping. I think that leaving Ash and Marie's kind of ends up feeling like the trip's over in my eyes, whilst I've still got a ridiculous amount of driving to do in a very short amount of time. They're getting to Ash and Marie at the beginning of the trip and sort of feels like when it actually starts, and I guess the same as the way back, it feels like when it actually ends. Let's get a move on. Right, just got to the place which Ash recommended, which is Ducktim. So I'm going to go see if they can do my tyres. And there's a fan of the channel who I was about to meet as well. It's a nice vehicle, that is. I got here a little later than I intended. I'm not sure he's going to be too impressed seeing if they could fit me in today when I have the tyres sitting in the shower room like that. Right, still don't know what's going on, but they still got my keys and he said unpack them, so I guess that counts as a good thing. I know in bathrooms you're used to skid marks, but that's not really what you usually get. All right, all the tyres are out. Time to get those back on again.
Ja, men du är alltid välkommen.
Right, done. 2,250 SEK for the tyres and the tyre hotel. Oh, look at that cheeky bit of advertising. Naughty, naughty. Right, I'm all right with that. Let's get driving for the day. For those who are new to the concept, many people in the Nordics who don't have the space store their tyres in a tyre hotel. Though if you've got land, you could just have them on site. I think what I might do next year, to save me the money for the storage and swapping the tyres, I might bring up a pair of Steelies and get my Nordic tyres put on steel rims, and then I can just, well, Ashworth said I could leave them at his house if I wanted to. And that means in the winter I can just jack the van up, swap the tyres myself, and then be on my way and not have to pay hundreds of pounds to get it swapped. Right, driving south. Right, let's get out of here. Interesting, they left it in gear but didn't put the handbrake on. A lot of got studs on, drive a little bit more conservatively. Well, in one way there's no ice left on these roads, it's just tarmac, so it's not massively a worry. Well, we're making my way down the coast of Sweden, and it's just got -1, which is the coldest I've seen in days, which is a bit sad when I'm leaving. But the general weather for the next, I think, week is still warm whilst I'm up here. Well, it is once again extremely foggy. A bit like how this trip started, to be honest. Right, 20 past 2 in the morning. I think there's a lorry stop coming up, so I'm going to go there. I think it's supposed to be less than 200 miles from Gothenburg. Right. I think that'll do for the night. Well, sad sight. Snow is all gone. So I was looking online, and I was going to book the Gothenburg to Lviv in Germany ferry like I did last year, because it was cheaper than, I think, the combined fuel and bridges I'd have to go across in Denmark. But I don't know if I've left it a bit late or is it a more expensive day of the week, because it was going to work out about 380 euros this time and not 280 euros. So I'm going to drive instead. Let's get on. Well, GPS is set for Calais and it's just over 1,000 miles. 17-hour drive. Snow's gone. Already looking forward to next winter. Maybe I should just move to Sweden. Or just do what every other van life YouTuber seems to do, which is buy land somewhere. Maybe I should just move to Sweden. That's probably not so as practical as it sounds, as easy as it sounds. Oh well, already looking forward to coming up next year with a new van. Hopefully a little bit longer. This trip it's probably about 2 weeks shorter than usual for a few different reasons. But yeah, 1,000-mile drive to go. Right, into Denmark. Right, let's get out of Sweden. 63 euro. Christ. Ugh. Right, am I officially in Denmark, or do I get officially into Denmark later? First time I've had a non-foggy view in a few hours. Right, next hole. Blue card. I believe that's a picture of a card. Not the best picture of a card I've ever seen. Tappity tap tap. Oh. Approaching German border, I believe. Not that I can actually see anything that actually lights. I know that's. I think the German border is over here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Are we in Germany yet? Yes, sir. Oh, there we go. Right, gone just past 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm past Hamburg. Let's find a motorway service station to sleep at. That'll do. That'll do. Right, time for some bed. Well, good morning. It is, well, it's almost 11 o'clock because I got up late. Well, I went to bed at 3. Currently 450 miles to go to get to Channel Tunnel. So, all bit well, I'll probably jump on the Channel Tunnel tonight. And we're in the Netherlands. Right, on to Belgium. Belgium's coming up. We're in Belgium. Right, we're in France. The last country of this trip, although I come back out of the UK, but the last one, about 33 miles to get to Channel Tunnel. I booked the train yesterday. No, I booked the train a couple of hours ago. It's a bit more expensive than I want, but I'm just going to drive and get there and just get on the next train, really. And that will conclude Arctic Season 4.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 42.
Well, we're almost there.
Take the exit, then keep left towards E50. Use the left 2 lanes to keep left towards E50. Use the right lane to keep right.
I am.
Keep right, then at the roundabout, take the second exit. At the roundabout, take the second exit. You've entered the car park for your destination.
Right, let's get ready. Right, my ticket has been called. I managed to get on a train which was 2 hours earlier, and then my ticket's just been called. So let's go to custom. Well, no, border control. Evening. Thank you very much. Very talkative. Right, out of France. Time to get back into the UK. Easy to get out of France, a bit more difficult to get back into the UK. Evening.
How you doing?
Good, yourself? Yes, just me. The Arctic for the last 2 months.
The Arctic?
Yeah. All good? Thank you very much. Have a good evening. That's nice of them. That they were interested in the channel, and then another one came over to ask it as well. Large. Hello. Green light. Okay, thank you. Have a good evening. Right, boarding in 19 minutes. There's a sign over there. Nice to conclude another winter as well, where I haven't lost my passport because I need it in 6 days' time for another trip. And then after that trip, I need it in 36 hours' time for another trip. I'll keep this all on me. Well, I guess that this is the actual final trip for Yeti, as I'll put this van up for sale, I think, in a few months' time to fund the next van for next winter. I've got to put an entire other van to bring up to the Arctic, which is going to be some effort. But yeah, can't wait to be back already. This trip was a little bit shorter, and hopefully next year we'll get the -40. But it's not about getting the -40. That's always been an arbitrary goal. It's been about just the fun experience of being up there and all the people I get to meet through it. Let's wait for the train. Time to go. Ford Ranger. Right, well, that's it. Outro. And that's pretty much going to be the end of Arctic season round 4. And it's ending much like the rest of the season. It's pretty warm and wet. So unfortunately no -40 this time in this van, but it's always next winter. If you're new here, do consider subscribing and checking out the rest of Arctic season round 4 or the other seasons, or some of the other stuff I make. And in other ways you can help support the channel, in the description below there's a bunch of links. One of them is Roma, which is a UK lithium battery company I work for. I help design their electrical systems for customers. I'm also a brand ambassador for Autotherm, for their diesel air heaters and their diesel water heaters, and a variety of other links like Amazon and so on. But really, I just want to make content for you guys to enjoy, and that's because of you guys. Your continued support over the last couple of years has funded trips like this directly through the videos I make, or allowing me to work with companies for collaborations. So once again, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye. I'm gonna get back in the van, it's freezing.